It's actually good
Oh,
morning.
good morning. Yeah.
It's a
Well,
day
depending
shift.
on where you are in the world. He said good morning, I said good evening. We're covering our bases.
We are live here from the Filmmaker IQ studio in the lovely heat. Unfortunately, the studio is not
California
air conditioned, although
Yeah.
luckily it cools down at night, so we get a little. It stays kind of cool.
Yeah,
and
we're
we got
gonna-
some fans going.
Yep.
So.
Exactly. We get a little bit of a break in the morning, so it works out perfectly for this.
So, oh hi, Mark. How are you doing? Hi, Henry. Welcome.
Herman, Henry, Laroli?
The
I
Rolly
think
says
so.
hey,
Hey, how's
and
it
we
going?
also we got our iPad working now.
we got our iPad working now.
And the internet,
so-
hopefully, I upgraded from 50 megabits a second to 100.
Yep.
And
for
less money than I was paying, which is
Yep.
wonderful. It's a brilliant cable company logic.
Yep.
But it should be working. And we are live.
Exactly.
Why don't you put up the Hey Mark sign so you can show the folks what it looks like?
There you go.
So
let's
we got
see.
Henry Anderson saying, "Oh hi Mark."
There you go.
There you go. Got a little profile picture and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So your privacy is none of our business. We're gonna call you out if you say some nasty crap. We're gonna put it on the screen right there. Look at that. Did he
Did
upgrade?
you up to 60 FPS though?
Put that on the screen. We're gonna call you out on that, Henry. Did he put it up there?
There you go.
No, we did not, and I can actually get rid of that. Believe it or not, we're running at 48 hertz over there. 48 because of the way. I think the way they handle 24 in a broadcast medium is to go to 48. Because 48 is closer to 60, and they can do 48 interlaced.
Yeah.
And then do like a each line is the same. So we're actually running at 48 and broadcasting at the 24.
There you go.
So that's the story. So yeah, what's going on, Joe?
All right, let's see. What do we got?
Well, I mean, other than everyone's talking about the Comic Con.
Comic Con.
Did we talk? Was it going on
Phase
last week?
4. Yeah. Huh?
Was Comic Con happening last time we were
No.
on there? I don't think so. So
No. Yeah, we got the Marvel Phase 4. We had DC pull out completely out of Comic Con.
oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they because James Gunn's doing Suicide Squad, and I don't know, maybe they didn't want to really talk too much about the Wonder Woman 2 or with Henry Cavill is doing The Witcher
Oh,
for
cool.
Netflix.
I think DC just said, you know what? Let's not spoil Marvel's party. Let's be the bigger company and
Yeah.
let them have their Comic Con, and then we're gonna come back and just announce it right.
Yeah, I mean the thing is they're gonna release their trailers when they release their trailers.
And really, I mean, is there really any advantage being at Comic Con?
No, I mean honestly, it's gone from what it was in the early to the mid '90s to the early 2000s, which was really about comic books and kind of more
The
nerdy stuff.
comic nerd genre.
Yeah, you really were going for Comic Con for comics, anime, artists,
and games,
and
board
games
and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it was small, like Magic tournaments were held there and stuff like that. It was really more of now it's kind of turned into a E3-esque type thing, which is just let's get all of our stuff out there and get, which I mean is cool, but at the same time,
the thing is, Hollywood kind of usurped it.
Yeah, exactly.
And we own, they started doing Firefly and all those stuff. But then the beer bottle. Oh, my soda can fell over.
Oh no!
But then now everyone's going over. They're like, oh, we need to push the latest Star Trek. Anything that's even remotely comic or remotely nerd culture.
Picard was there. Speaking of that, Picard for
anything that's remotely comic book or nerd sci-fi related, they start pushing it in Comic-Con. So I'm wondering, well, do you really need to be? I guess DC still is a comic book company, so they probably have comics there, but maybe their movies they don't have to necessarily do it.
No, not at all. All right, let's look at what we got.
So he's got control of the board there.
The whole SLC.
You can pop them on screen so people can read along what you're saying.
We got that one.
What's he saying?
Oh, did it send?
No, you didn't push the button. There it goes. I cannot read that from here.
It just says the whole SLC Comic Con lawsuit was so stupid. I didn't hear about the Comic Con in
I didn't even know
Salt
about
Lake.
that.
But I mean, yeah. Avid Sonic said, let's see, 2-2 pull down from 48 to 24 sound much easier than a 3-2 pull down from 60 to 24 anyway.
I'll just answer that. It's not really necessarily easier. I mean, remember, these are computers. It's not like you have to actually do the pull down yourself.
Yeah.
So like, you just program a computer to do something, it does it.
Yep.
So it's not necessarily easier. It's just for some reason they run to get the programs to understand it, or to get maybe to get the interlacing to work a little bit better or whatever. Just use 48.
Yeah.
But I'm not quite sure. I gotta look that up and why the whole 48 thing is.
Yep. But I mean that so Comic-Con going on, yeah. So I mean a lot of people are going on about essentially Phase 4. I mean that's like you said. There's a lot more livelihood on the comic book rant that you did. Just because everybody's gotten into that fact of they're being bombarded with a huge amount of
comic book movie news.
But you look at that stuff and a lot of it's up to 2021, 2022.
Yeah, I know. And you look at that Phase 4, you look at that Phase 4 map, you're like, oh God, look at this. And I was watching Red Letter Media and Jay's like, oh my God. And I feel the same way. But like but if you have to live through it, it's like, okay, we're going to give you a Spider-Man, and then 3 months later, they're going to give you this thing. And then 4 months later, give you this thing. So there's enough time to breathe. But, for a movie production, it takes them years to put this all together.
Oh, apparently San Diego forced them to change their name from Salt Lake Comic-Con to Salt Lake Fan X.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Well, that is kind of stupid. Yeah. It's a Comic-Con wherever it is. It just happens to be, they didn't come up with that. San Diego didn't come up with that. Some marketing guy did, but then they took it and ran with it.
Throw Avid's last comment up there.
Yep.
So as far as like the 3-2 pull down, this is also we're going to go back and forth between two different topics here.
Yeah.
3-2 pull down is not really an issue that's hard to tolerate. There's some people that might say they claim they can see it, but like I grew up with it and I watch it like regularly, so it's not like it's intolerable. It's actually unnoticeable to me. I actually prefer the 3-2 pull down to 2-2 sometimes. It's weird. Anyhow, just answering that question.
But yeah,
you get rid of that.
Anyway, I mean,
our new toy.
Yeah, our new toy. There you go. We can post your
comments
up there.
So that way, people watching this on another channel, because they're trying to do. We might think about doing this on Facebook and Twitch, try to do it like feed to everybody. But that way, we can take comments from all over the place.
You can put the YouTube
and respond.
And or Facebook and or Twitch.
Of course, we might have to change how we do this because to move the comments all over the.
Oh yeah.
So I have to figure that out.
Because only I'd be able to see it. What's up, Paul? How's it going?
Doing, Paul Smith? So
anyway,
I don't want to get
a lot of stuff on Comic-Con, but I'm not going to go into Star Trek too much but I don't know. I'm a little with Red Letter Media on it, but at the same time, I'm willing to give it more of a chance than they are.
Well, the thing is, I don't want to buy CBS All Access, so I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah.
So sorry. I'm not going to go the lengths of pirating it. So
yeah,
it's not on my radar, honestly.
Yeah, that is true. And the funny part is if you're in any other part of the world, you get it in your Netflix.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the lame thing.
Oh, that's screwy.
So only we have to, it's part of.
That's why you should
Netflix for everyone
join
else.
our new sponsor, NordVPN. I'm just kidding. NordVPN is not sponsoring us.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Donnie, welcome.
Well, I can't. What does that say?
He said, "Hello, everyone from the greater Seattle area. Hello to filmmaker IQ."
Hi, Donnie. You just got picked out for putting a comment on there. We're gonna highlight you. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us.
Yep. Yeah, and Henry said it very well in that.
There he goes.
60 FPS is good for gaming because it requires fast reaction time. But you don't need that for movies, so it's kind of pointless, and no motion blur looks weird.
All right, and you fit it in the comment box.
Yeah.
So we're still testing out this comment box, and it seems like it's working. So yeah, it fits right all in there.
Yep. So agreed.
Although the funny thing, so the DP of that movie Omega, with the Gemini Man. Mm-hmm. Which is shot 120 frames per second by Ang Lee. He's coming back because he did that Billy Flynn's long halftime walk.
Yeah.
Billy Lynn. I keep saying Billy Flynn because that's the guy from Chicago.
Yeah.
Billy Flynn and his long halftime walk.
Yeah.
Gotta give them razzle dazzle.
Okay. Razzle dazzle.
So his DP said, "Oh, the whole point of the shoot was no motion blur. We wanted to eliminate motion blur." And I'm watching the trailer like, that's a shit ton of motion blur.
Yeah.
The fucking motorcycle flying. I was cursing. I swear. This is bad for me.
Yep.
All right.
What is up, Nate? Hello, Sprinkled Donut. Always
Hello.
good to see you. Kelvis has already explained the benefits of 24 FPS. That is true. Relative of Tron's Kevin Flynn. There you go. Yep, going for a little
Kevin
bit of a
Flynn.
Tron reference
Oh,
there.
Kevin Flynn.
Yeah.
No, Billy Flynn from yeah, anyhow.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's the musical nerds.
Oh, no, I know.
It's just fun. I put up Motion Wang. Motion Wang.
Under maintenance. Oh, yeah.
Put him up
Motion
there.
Wang.
Motion Wang. I love this comment here.
Number Wang.
It's just fun to hang around here while my premiere and audition updates. Bang on timing this one around. Exactly.
Marv, welcome. Yep.
And you can check out Mo and Wang. Check out our new. I keep pointing the wrong direction.
Yep,
Check out our
there
new.
you go.
Our new
You're
toy.
up on the side.
Up on
there.
the screen.
Up on the screen.
We're getting advanced. We're learning how to make films here.
We're updating our podcast
technology.
every time. Sooner or later, it'll just be so advanced, everybody will be blown away.
It'll be so advanced we won't even need to show up.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll just be 2 cameras and 2 empty seats, and people will just watch that, and we'll get more ratings than we will ever
than we've ever had. People will be waiting for. They'll be like, they're probably going to show up any moment now.
Yeah.
But all right.
All right. Eddie's got a real question here. Let's put him up on the screen here. I can actually read somewhere here. What do you think about 1080p versus 4K and 8K? Do you think there's any point to UHD at this time? Yes, there is actually a good point to UHD.
Yeah.
We're shooting in well, we're not streaming in 4K, but we are. I do shoot my stuff in 4K.
In 4K.
And I release it in 1080. And I find, like, I do a lot of the talking stuff on the desk stuff.
Yeah.
Man, it looks so much better in 4K when you downscale it to 1080 because you can zoom in and not lose any quality. So 4K is beneficial. There is a video out there, and I was just watching it today because it was my Facebook memories of all things. As a DP goes over like goes over the benefits of 4K, 6K, 8K acquisition, 12K I think it goes to, and he talks about how man, resolution, it doesn't matter. Like after 4K, even somewhere between HD and 4K, you lose it. You just surpass. If you just look at strictly the numbers, you lose the benefit somewhere between 2 and 4. Right. Beyond that, though, what we were saying was, what you got to start looking at is other details like sharpness, about clarity. There's a whole lot of list of other things. This guy's like a ASC cinematographer, so he knows what he's talking about. If you can find that, it's like an hour-long presentation. If you're really interested in this topic, watch it. I watched it one night, and I was like, wow, this is actually a point that it's much more nuanced than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Look up Vashi Visuals. If Vashi's the guy that he sets up a lot of post-production workflows for like Deadpool. He did Deadpool. He did a couple other movies, but he's a Premiere guy. Adobe Premiere.
Okay.
Been around, and he basically what this guy said was, forget resolution. You really need to focus on your post-production workflow and how you take those raw numbers and you convert them, jumble them together, and make your final product. Just having 12K acquisition is not going to help. Not going to make it better.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
I got you.
Long story short.
Let's see. Under maintenance said, you guys will be a holographic projection. So I guess that goes back. So it won't be empty. It'll just be holographic projection. Have you seen the 8K TVs? I have not. I don't know if John
I
has.
have seen 8K projection.
Yeah.
So the point of 8K projection, though, you have to sit as close as you can because otherwise it's like pointless.
Yeah. So
a 4K projection in a theater, you lose it around like the third row, a third row from the screen. If you're in like a
so detailed, you start losing
15
detail about the third row.
Well, yeah, because your eyes can only reserve so much. So about the third. Well, you know if you in an old style theater, there's a mezzanine and there's a front row and there's a back row. Right about the mezzanine is where you start losing the 4K.
Okay.
If you go further back, it's like, well, you're not going to see any difference in 2K and so forth. 8K, you probably have to be like in the first 2 rows of seats in order to make out the detail of 8K. An 8K TV, you got to be pretty darn close. And how can you tell it's 8K? I mean, 4K TVs look so good already.
Yep.
So,
let's see. I saw. Okay, what'd you guys think of the
Put it up there.
Zombieland,
Zombieland
2
2.
trailer. I liked it.
I have not seen it.
You have not seen it
No,
yet?
I've seen all the other. I've seen the Cats trailer. Why can't we talk about the Cats trailer?
I was actually going to bring that up, but I wasn't going to bring it up until later.
All right, we'll talk about it later.
But because of the uncanny valley that it is. But so essentially what it is I mean, all the people from the original one are back.
Yeah.
And they basically go in the trailer. It's like they're in Washington, D.C. They're at the White House. And then one of them runs off. The youngest sister from the first one runs off with somebody. And they're like going to go find her. And then kind of plays a little bit of... in a way, Shaun of the Dead, where you find that group that's very similar to Shaun's group.
Yeah.
And it seems like that's what's happening in the trailer. Like, they run into another group that is very similar to them. I don't know if you're going to follow them or they're going to group up. But, yeah. So, that's kind of like the end of the trailer is Emma Stone going like, what the hell? Like, as the other group kind of comes out.
It's like the ending of Spider-Man goes, where Aunt May goes, what the?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'm pouring soda.
So,
LaCroix.
Uncatsy Valley. Yes, exactly. Have you caught up on Elon Musk lately?
No.
No. But if Elon Musk ever wanted to come to Filmmaker IQ and talk with us, we'd be more than happy to talk.
I'm not really a blunt smoker, but I mean, we'll have some blunts if he wants to.
Yeah.
It's California. It's legal.
I don't think he's going to do that again.
Oh, really?
I don't think so. Well, you never know. He might just not care. And apparently my voice is going away.
And the frog has entered the room.
8K gives you another creative option during editing. Well,
it does, but it's also massively wasteful, and it depends on your post production workflow. You really need to zoom in. If you need to zoom in by 8K, if you need to zoom in by like 300%, you probably did something wrong. So it's more like saving your butt rather than a creative thing.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Okay,
thoughts on the
my
Lion?
voice seems to be back.
All right.
Okay.
Throw up this comment. Thoughts on the Lion King. So, Sprinkled Donut.
I feel like we're gonna actually because I watched it.
You watched it?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I did too.
So
we can talk about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, so I'll throw in my thoughts while you recover your voice.
My voice seems to be back. But go ahead.
I think The Lion King. Like, I liked Aladdin, the remake. I didn't see a Dumbo remake. I love the Jungle Book for what it did, which was take the old classic cartoon and kind of re-envision it, give it a little bit new life, give it some more personality. The Lion King didn't do any of that. It just like, here's the old movie.
Maybe
going to
we
make
won't
it
be that
a
different.
natural. I don't think we're going to be different at all. Here's the old movie, and we're just going to make it photorealistic.
Yeah.
And it's okay for a certain while, but then it's like, and so what? It's nothing cool.
Okay. I didn't particularly care for it because the cartoon, when you see Scar do his things, it's all very facial.
Exactly.
It's all little ticks and like him rubbing his paw like on his head. It like basically looking like
eyebrows.
He's got eyebrows.
Stuff.
And
he's emoting.
when you see him in the movie, he just loses everything. And it doesn't feel like you wouldn't be able to tell him from
another line.
Yeah, from another line or the sinisterness or any, you know what I mean? Like those moments where he's like exasperated versus where he's sinister, there's no difference.
Yeah. I also feel like the voice acting wasn't as good as what the cartoon.
Yeah.
Because I think Lion King was still like, well, we kind of we do have a couple celebrities in here doing some voice acting.
And I think we both said, I don't know if we both were talking about this, about Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean.
Yeah, we're complaining about that.
Versus John Oliver.
Yeah.
And whereas John Oliver is just John Oliver.
Yeah.
And Rowan Atkinson is actually playing a character.
Because Rowan Atkinson is known for playing characters.
Like he is a very
he's a
character-driven actor.
Whereas John Oliver is a talk show host.
Yeah, exactly. So there were a lot of little things, and I guess we completely agree.
I think we did. Yeah. So I'm glad you saw it because and then somebody on Facebook was like posting like, oh, if they wanted to redo Lion King, they should have made it like cartoony CG.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's even less of a point.
Yeah, that's even more or less point.
Because I get it. Like, okay, you want to make it photorealistic. It's an experiment. maybe it doesn't work really.
Yeah.
But heck, you tried it, and yeah, that looks great. It almost looks like
I mean, it looks
almost looks like a documentary.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I was gonna say, they're there for the documentary thing. They could have done this in a way and been like, "Welcome to Africa." Wouldn't have freaking known the difference.
It's like, holy crap! How did they get those animals to do that?
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty amazing work. But like the thing is, then
Seth Rogen or Seth Rogen.
Yeah, Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen and the guy who played Timon.
I forget his name.
They were funny.
I think they were the best part.
I mean, give them a show, I guess. I don't know.
It's Lion King 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5. Yeah, exactly.
Those were the best. That was the best part. I think when I saw it at the theater, that the audience really responded well to those two characters. Everything else is like, eh.
Yeah.
Like, Can You Feel the Love Tonight happened not during the nighttime.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, can you feel the love
today,
this afternoon?
Yeah. Yep. All right.
That's not an original comment, obviously.
I don't get why Hollywood has pretty much ditched practical makeup. I mean, like Miss Doubtfire, Jack Nicholson's Joker, etc., all hold up great. That is
let's put it up there.
I agree with that completely. Honestly, I love the makeup in or the behind the scenes for original Batman because in one of them they had to put the Joker makeup on Jack Nicholson, but then show him wiping it away but at the same, so essentially he was already in the Joker makeup and wiping it away, but it really was a fact of because he already had a bunch of prosthetics on top, to create the crazy smile and all that stuff. So it had to be him smearing the Joker makeup and creating the Nick Frost? I forget I can't remember.
Jack Frost?
Jack Frost, yeah. The makeup of being human, even though he's no longer that in the way. So they did it in an amazing way, and it shows the whole step-by-step process of it behind the scenes, and it was something that took them like 3 hours to do.
The thing is also, I don't think they've abandoned real makeup.
Yeah, I mean they haven't abandoned it.
No,
because it is showing up less and less. I
don't know. I mean, it depends on I think the It movies are all real makeup. I mean, his tongue flapping out, and that's obviously CGI.
But yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I think most like the Marvel movies, like Iron Man, because Iron Man's iron, so that you get the CG. That's probably easier to CG than like
I mean, he wears
rubbery thing.
Essentially, he wears like a piece. Oops. And then like the gloves, and then the shoulders, and then they CG through. But
like I saw some photos where it's just they're just wearing the mocap suit.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not even wearing anything.
Oh yeah, well that's the Hulk because
that's also what's the Don Cheadle's character?
Don Cheadle, he has the little breastplate and that's it.
Well, I think the photo I saw, he just had nothing.
Oh, maybe.
I think it was a wide shot.
Oh, it was a wide shot.
It was probably him in the entire character.
Yeah.
So you probably didn't see his face.
Yeah.
Like, so just act. But I don't think they've completely abandoned. I think the thing is CG makeup is pretty darn hard, but so is practical makeup.
Yeah.
Like Mrs. Doubtfire. Thing is, if you put Mrs. Doubtfire out today, I wonder if you would have a lot of people saying, "Ew, that's creepy."
Probably.
Because it is kind of creepy.
Because it's Robin Williams.
That's true.
Like he is very that unassuming kind of way. But like you put Jared Leto in that same role, and
oh good lord,
there would be so many comments.
I was thinking Rebel Wilson for some reason. We're gonna put Rebel Wilson in a fat suit. Okay, I'm being mean. Sorry, Rebel. Hey, look at me. I'm not skinny.
Hey, Charles. Hey, Daniel. Do you ever have Movie Pass? John has Movie Pass.
I had Movie Pass until I ditched them.
That's true. You have the AMC. I have the
AMC version, which I love because that gives you any movie. And you get like rewards. Yeah. And I have a birthday because on my birthday a couple weeks ago, I have a birthday popcorn and drink that I have yet to use.
Yeah.
Because last time I went to the movies, I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yep.
But I was like, hey man, I don't want to freaking eat a whole tub of popcorn and drink by myself here. It's like
yep. So. I still need to go see John Wick 2 and 3. I've seen 1 and 2. I haven't seen 3 yet. I'm looking forward to it, and obviously they're already talking about the 4th. So
because if there's one thing you know that if it makes money, make some more.
Yep. And it has, Keanu Reeves is just riding high right now.
See, that's the thing. Like, I don't think people are saying, "Well, I hate remakes and sequels." Like, no, you just hate the remakes and sequels you don't
that
like.
Are bad, or not, not bad.
The ones that you're not a fan of.
The ones you're not a fan of.
Like Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. That movie just looks stupid. I want to get drunk and go watch that movie.
It just, I mean, it's just pure.
It's like
stuff
stupid.
Up.
Yeah. It's like, what's the stupidest? It's like you and I sat together and said, "What's the stupidest thing we could do?" And then we did it.
Yeah. And it's like, well, let's take the people from Fast and the Furious and let's put them in their own side movie.
Yeah.
He's breathtaking. That is true. That is true.
Keanu Reeves is breathtaking.
Yep. And there's so many memes about him right now, so can't go wrong, I guess. But yeah, so let's talk about Cats.
Oh, he finally brings it up.
The Thing and The Fly are probably the best examples of remakes done right.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree with that.
Well, I mean, if you're a fan of it, but what's the Scarface?
Yep.
Scarface is a great remake. Mm-hmm. I like I like the Ocean's 11 remake. That was way better than the Ocean's 11, the one that not the recent one.
You're not talking about Ocean's 8. You're talking about Ocean's 11, which is
George
Clooney,
three
Brad
more
Pitt.
than Ocean's 8.
Yeah. Yeah, which was a remake of
the Fred.
There you go, Roger David got it. Ocean's
Frank Sinatra.
11.
Yeah.
No, that was a good one.
But I think we need to. There's an elephant in the room, and it's a cat.
Yep. Okay.
We talk about this cat business.
So I don't know how many of you guys out there have watched the freaking Cats.
Here's the thing: how many people
trailer.
are familiar with Cats? I mean, the actual musical.
The actual musical.
Is anyone out there familiar with it?
I want to say probably very few. I don't know. That's.
I don't know. It depends on what our audience is.
Yeah, that's true.
But if they didn't understand the Billy Flynn reference, they might not have gotten it.
Go to you.
Oh, go to me. Who's drinking?
Afraid so.
Afraid so. You know the Jellicle Ball is happening tonight. Jellicle Ball for all the Jellicle cats.
Yep.
Or we will finally decide one to go to the Heaviside Layer.
Yep.
I know Cats. I know it very well. I've seen the musical when I was, I think, 9 or whatever, 7th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade was.
Yeah.
I liked it. I listened to the damn musical like millions of times while playing around with 3D Studio Max when I was in high school. Mm-hmm. So I'm a fan of Cats. I want Cats to be good. But oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't think it will be.
That's where the thing comes in, is like, I want it to be good. But I don't think it will be.
Because it's Tom Hooper.
Yeah.
Tom Hooper is like he's like my arch nemesis.
For killing
musicals.
Yep. That's true.
Because Joe and I were like excited, like, oh, we're gonna go see Christmas. We're gonna go see Les Miserables. We're gonna pack theater, man. We're gonna go see this.
That's
it's gonna
true.
be awesome.
And we did see it.
And we saw it on Christmas Day, for crying out loud. And we're like, and then the moment it jumped the shark was when Javert jumps off that bridge.
Oh God! And you just hear
you hear like overly serious.
Somebody added in the cracking of his ankles on the freaking water, and I was just like, are you serious right now? Somebody had to go in with balsa wood, most likely, and add in that snap, and just so we know that he's not gonna survive, because he just broke both his ankles.
And like Tom Hooper's there going like, give me more of that sound effect. Make it louder. Make it echo through the hall.
Yeah, and my thing was the one where Hugh Jackman is singing the song, and he's just snot-nosed and like the tears and like. And
then the stories about Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
And like, oh, we tried one in a coffin, but that was too much.
Yeah.
It was like, we tried to do it. We did it like 40 different ways, and then hey, she walked away with an Oscar. Good for her.
Yeah.
So is there a proper way to do Cats? And the answer is yes. You lean in to the camp. You don't ignore it.
Yeah.
You totally go full blast into it, like a crazy, insane driver. Like, I'm going crazy. To me, it's what Rocky Horror Picture Show does right, because it knows it's campy, it knows it's silly, it's stupid, and it goes frickin' straight for it. And that's why we still watch the damn thing in theaters today, because it's so campy and stupid and fun. Mm-hmm. So I think if you did Cats that way, it would work. Now, if for any of you out there looking it up, Steven Spielberg was actually attached to Cats at one point. He was actually going to make an animated version of it. So there's another way you could have done it.
Yeah,
was through animation. So that kind of would have been cool. So yeah, but what they did with Cats. Now let's come back to Cats here with this trailer.
Yeah,
what they did was
Alita Battle
Just-
Angel, right? I think. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, Alita Battle Angels. They just
I haven't
made
seen it yet, but
That came out last Christmas, I
Yeah,
think, right?
something
It was what's his face, Robert Rodriguez.
yeah.
But anyhow, what they do with cats, I don't know why they couldn't just stick with regular human being figures.
Yeah.
They had to CGI this thing to make it kind of like hyper sexualized. I think that's a problem with the way what cats happened. What happened to cats was they made the shapes too sexual. Like you see all the six packs of the abs, and it's homoerotic.
Yeah.
It's the stuff when you go look up furry literature or furry. That's what they
The
draw.
furries are gonna love
the
this.
furries are gonna fuck. It's like porno theater for furries, man. They're gonna love this thing. That's what I think is it's creeping people out. It's just way too. And then of course the floating faces. I think if you've seen it, the faces aren't perfectly lined up with the characters. It might just be that it's just a trailer and they're just showing you some like early renderings, but.
Yeah.
I don't believe Tony Hooper, whatever his name is, Toby Hooper. He's not going to drive that train and go crazy camp. He's going to try to be serious British. Oh, this is high drama, kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. So anyhow,
Okay.
so Joe's going to throw up another comment.
Let's see. Rob Egger was saying movies set before cell phones and social media are going to be the new westerns. Do you think that's true? Not really. I don't know. That's just me.
I'm not quite sure what that comment.
I would assume I
think it means like movies about the past.
Yeah, exactly.
But have you noticed that like a lot of times in modern movies have to invent reasons why you can't just use your cell phone? Mm-hmm. It's like, what about that movie?
Yeah, it's like, well, any horror movie now,
your phone doesn't work.
It's like, oh, no service. It's like, okay, but you could go out into the literally, you can go out into the forest and still have cell phone reception.
Most forests, at least.
Forests. I mean, we really.
You have to go out to the middle of the ocean to probably have cell service.
Exactly.
I think.
Or it's or in those certain movies, it's like the demon or whatever it might be that's it's somehow blocking.
Interfering your phone call.
Or like you call and then the demon answers and I'm gonna kill you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like at this point, we're always creating ways of trying to block cell phones, whether it's some mass hacker or demon invoke kind of way, or
I think
maybe.
We might play with this in the future in one of our movies, but like nowadays, like in like Avengers, or everybody can talk to each other even though they're like miles away.
Yeah.
It's like and they can make like smart comments, like they can make jokey comments, but because they cut them together, the audience makes sense to the audience. But if you think about it, like, there's no possible way he could have heard him.
Yeah.
From over there. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking maybe for the ending scene of one of those things, like, I'll get you this next time, Captain. And it's like, how can he? What is he saying?
Yeah. What is he saying?
What did he say? I can't hear
see.
you.
Let's see something that says show over there.
Okay, so suck my. Oh, you can just let that one go.
Oh.
Mian Wang just says that make Edgar Wright direct Cats thingy, and that would be kind of cool. I think Edgar Wright could probably pull it off because he's kind of crazy. Let's put up Paul Smith's comment.
Yep. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, he's got it right there for that. Writing a horror at the moment. I was going to study in the 90s specifically so kids don't have phones with them. Yeah, it makes sense.
I wonder if that's kind of why all these Stranger Things and things are set.
Yeah,
in the 80s.
I mean, you kind of jump to the past because. I mean, like, they make it a very big thing in the first season of Stranger Things where she has to buy the rotary phone.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you are an 80s kid or
90s kid or
90s kid, you remember those phones and how much of a pain in the butt they are. So it kind of plays on nostalgia, but yeah, it also plays into that kind of helplessness because you have to be by a corded phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, maybe there is a little
so
bit of
we
the
used to
reason
make
why
fun
they
of
jump back.
we used to make fun of Joe because his mom had a cord on her phone that we said could wrap around the entire
house. Yeah. It was long.
It's a long cord.
It was like 20 feet or something. It was some ridiculous thing. Let's see.
Yeah, they can't
because of the no signal, but they also can't use the light on them. Yeah, that's true too.
So it's been about 8 or 9. No, it's been about 10, almost 9-10 years ago. I made a short film, which won me some awards, so I can call myself an award-making filmmaker.
Yeah.
where the plot point was that she has her cell phone on her, and the murderer is trying to get her, and then the murderer just dials her phone number.
Yeah.
At the very end, and then that signals to the killer where she was.
Yep.
So that was my thing on the phone,
Yeah.
and then we shot that like kind of with a phone light and stuff. And he took the phone light and.
Yep.
So yeah, we played.
Yeah,
we went
we
the
played around
opposite.
with that too,
We went
yeah.
the opposite direction of the
Yeah,
signal.
where it actually winds up being the foil for the main character.
I mean, not to kind of.
Trevor says, Saturday afternoon, guys, no rest for the wicked. True.
Well, not to beat a point like to death, but like I think what you got to do in film and anything in life is look where everybody's going and pick a direction and then go full blast in that direction.
Yeah.
And sometimes that means like. Yeah, if everyone's going the thing with no cell phones, make your horror film all about cell phones. And, do the opposite sometimes. And sometimes that's unfortunately Susan and I, my producer, like we do a lot of advertising. It's kind of like a lot of obvious our obvious approach a lot. Look at what everyone else is doing, do the opposite, be different, and try to come up with a direction.
I liked film
Anyhow.
fanatics here. Do you think most big directors today, Tarantino, Scorsese, Ridley Scott, PTA, I'm not sure who PTA is.
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Oh, okay. Make movies about the past because they don't know how to approach / depict the modern world with the internet
That's a
and
good
smartphones.
question. Right, that's a smart question.
So I think there probably is a little bit to it, but also you play to what you know really well,
Or
and
what you
Scorsese-
care about.
Yeah. I like my kind of going to my grandfather a little bit. His stories never depict what happened a month ago or 8 months ago or even a year ago. It's always for him what was when he was in, because he was born in 1927, and so his stuff is around the 40s to early 50s or probably to late 50s. A lot of his stories now depict that, so it's something kind of that's a love and is really strong in his memory, and so. Obviously Tarantino is probably not the same way, but
He's in love with the 70s.
But he's also in he's in love with the
60s,
60s, 70s. Scorsese, so you see a lot of those times that you really love or where you really grapple onto, and I think that's kind of something that we all do.
Yeah, I think the other alternative is like people like Fincher are kind of moving more toward modern day filmmaking, or at least modern day devices. A lot, I think. I don't know. I feel like a lot of more TV shows are doing more cell phone work, the way they portray. I think Every Frame of Painting had a video about how they portray text messaging in film.
Yeah,
it keeps evolving and how they do it.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be more and more because that's the reality of what we do. It's the reality of life. So you have to incorporate that in your stories. And just because we have cell phones doesn't mean weird stories don't happen anymore. Or interesting stories don't happen. So you can still do it. You just have to be creative with it. But a lot of tropes But again, how many romantic comedies have you seen where it's like, I could solve your problems if you two would just come together and let him explain what he was doing, and then you just shut up and listen to what he's doing, and then you need to freaking tell her, that you were not doing something bad, or it's like, I caught you at the strip club. I was buying you a present.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, just none of this
I liked
fake
a couple
nonsense.
of these, so let's put
some of them up
fast.
there.
If it will. What the heck? Oh, there it goes. I don't know why I did that. Okay, send. So, I like this one, which was the best horror movie, in my opinion, are the plots where you can imagine it happening to anything, like The Shining.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a
Shining with cell phones would have worked.
Yeah. Because they're still trapped.
They're still trapped.
I like that. I agree with that a lot.
Sherlock. Yeah.
Yeah, the way Sherlock depicted text messages, I like that. Was perfect. I agree.
I didn't see it, honestly.
So it's a whoop, kind of like a thing where so it kind of.
They're starting to do more and more of that instead of showing the screen itself, which is the old school way of doing it.
Someone mentioned friend request, which
I don't remember that one.
Did that? It wasn't a really good film. Friend request, I believe, was the one where the guy was looking for his daughter.
That's Searching.
Oh, that's Searching. Oh, okay.
I didn't see that one either. Somebody else was watching.
Did you watch Searching? It was pretty smart.
I didn't see it.
So okay, I thought that one was friend request. I don't know.
Friend request was another one.
Was that the one with Elijah Wood in it?
I don't
Where
think
he's
so.
In the porn star, the ex-porn star?
Maybe.
I don't remember.
No, Chad will tell us. But I remember friend request also takes place off a screen because searching all is entire things on a desktop. I believe.
Trevor said, "Scary normalcy is timeless. Everything else, including cell phones, just become props." Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
that's very much true. The thing,
so all good things.
The funny thing is, it's not just horror films. You can probably make drama films, and the problem I have with drama is a lot of times if your characters are sensible, you can fix problems by just having them in the room together and talking.
Yeah.
But that's not drama. That's not
exactly.
So you have to create reasons why they won't talk to each other.
Yeah. Reasons why they don't use the phone when they should have used it. You know? That's the thing, right? It's oh, he's late. Where could he possibly be? And he's at work, and then she's going to think he had an affair or something. And it's just literally a 2-second thing. Text could have been I'm at work. Click, click. Because that's how it works. We have cameras on our phone. And then the only thing that works is he takes that picture, but then you find out it was 2 hours earlier and he murdered someone. That's different.
That's why you have to check the metadata.
Yeah, exactly.
Check the EXIF.
Then you find out that her best friend was a hacker and checked the timestamp and it's that was 2 hours earlier. He did murder your best friend. I don't know. But that's the kind of thing is there's ways to play around with things and mess with people's minds too, but at the same time you can't go super far.
I like we can put this one up. The rhymes with pulverine.
Pulverine? Oh yeah. Wait a second.
Put that one up.
Top Gun 2 doesn't suck.
I agree with that.
I think it won't. It's Tom Cruise, and
Tom Cruise has a pretty darn good track record right now, dude.
Other than The Mummy.
Yeah, that's true. All right, not everyone's going to be a winner.
Yeah, but to be fair, I feel like that was slightly his fault because I think he said he wanted, but at the same, you don't expect him to do that. I don't know, the supernatural horror very well. What you expect him to do is human pieces really well. Mission Impossible is all about Ethan and. He does action great. So I think it'll be fine. Plus, apparently he wanted every person who was an actor to also be able to fly.
Oh, nice.
So, there's this weird part.
Wings.
Yeah. It's, really weird. So he made it kind of he made it into flight school, which is essentially, I think, what this one's about is... I think he's slightly teaching this newer group.
I don't know. Something about. I think he refuses to retire or something. I think
Tom Cruise refuses to retire is actually the name of his whole career.
It's like Tom Cruise. You could take the military, severance package or the retirement package. You can make $12,000 a month and sit at a desk. I won't get off that plane.
I'm not getting off that plane.
It's all right.
Let's see. Lego Movie 2. I don't know what we're Lego Movie.
I don't know what the reference is. Yeah,
because I think it might have been
cinematography looks worse than what.
Which drama movies will be up for Oscar this year? And then number one said Lego Movie 2.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Rain Man was my favorite Tom Cruise
you're
film
way back
by Henry.
There. You're way back behind me.
Is it?
No, you're right up there.
I was holy crap. Will there be more IQ videos? Yes.
Yes. I'm working on one that's why we need to ditch the exposure triangle. Mm-hmm. That's shot, and I'm editing it. My mom has surgery next week, so I am kind of all over the place. I've been all over the place for the last couple months. So
and
that's why I haven't
you
been
guys can't see it, but over that way is a 1972 Chevelle.
You want to show them?
If you want to bring. Do you want to point one over
wide
there?
Over there.
So there is a 1972 Chevelle that I am going to drop an engine in. Maybe you're not gonna be able to see it. It's really dark. You can kind of see it in there. So 1972 Chevelle. Oh, there you go. That I'm going to be doing a video on rebuild on my new Rite of Adventure channel. That John's gonna kind of help me do some stuff with. Also, we're going to do some other stuff. But yeah, so getting all the parts for it and all of the everything to drop the engine because it has no engine in it and also get it up and running has been kind of dividing my time. So yeah, so that's kind of, we've all got little,
And it's
side
summertime,
stuff.
so
And
it's
summer.
hot.
Oh yeah,
And we don't want to do anything during the summer. It sucks.
yeah. So
So that's where our IQ videos. I have that one. What's it called? What you need to ditch the exposure triangle.
Yeah.
Again,
And
we'll
the
talk
Fox.
more about Joe's adventures on
Right
Adventures.
Adventure.
We'll do some. Well, as that gets going, we'll talk about
yeah,
that.
exactly. Well,
And and I've got, so I wrote the first half of the Fox video, which is 9,000 words.
yeah,
And that just
it's gonna be a mouthful.
That covers from 1896 to 1929.
Yeah.
And then that's just only the first part of Fox. So and then because William Fox, the guy that created Fox, obviously, he is an interesting character.
Yeah.
He just because it's not. I'll just give you like a trailer teaser warning of it. He combats Thomas Edison.
Yeah.
He's the reason why we have sound and film. Not the Warner Brothers and Vitaphone. That was kind of a stupid idea, but Fox really pioneered the sound on film. Then he lost pretty much
everything.
Lost everything. Was forced out of his company after the stock market crash, and then was caught when they found a judge who was basically a corrupt judge. Everybody was bribing him to fix. He had to bribe him because that was how you did business with this judge.
Yeah.
He got caught, sent to prison when he was 62 years old.
Yeah.
Spent 6 months in prison and then died in 52, and nobody gave a shit about him.
Yeah.
So that's William Fox, and I'm going to tell you more about him in my studio's version of the Fox. The Fox
all
story.
right. Paul Smith said, "How do you come up with the names for characters? Could you make a video on techniques for naming them?"
Oh my God, that's a tough one.
That's a tough one. A lot of the time, our characters are just kind of named after people that we know in ways.
In movies where the character's name doesn't matter or I don't care, I just name him after the actor.
Yeah.
So it's like Chad is Chad.
Yeah, Chad was Chad.
And that just makes it easier.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm not going to, if it's a short film, I'm not going to spend a line, "Oh, how are you doing, Chad?"
Yeah.
To just get the name out there. It's like, I don't care about the name. I just use serve a
Chad
function.
was named Mark in
the original?
In the original
Okay.
one.
Yeah, I just picked the
because
name
we
out of
kept
the-
saying Mark. We for some reason, and Chad sees this. Sorry, dude, but we were sitting there. We're saying Mark, and then we're like, "That's not his real name."
Oh, you were saying Mark. That's right.
But no, it's in the script as
Oh,
Mark.
okay. It's okay. You thought his real name was Mark.
Yeah, and then we're like, his name is, and then it changed. There is never a point where we actually called him Mark, so it just became Chad.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And then, but in the little top part of the original script, it says Mark all the way up to the point where they say, "You killed Chad, you bastard."
Well, because that was a very last minute addition.
Yeah.
Remember? So that was
That's right. Yeah. Anyway, that's what it says in the script.
So
It's named Mark all the way to the
also,
end.
how loosey goosey I am with character names, if you go and watch our blocking video, I continuously say she's the sergeant.
Yeah.
And in the script, she's a captain. And the entire video, I just call her sergeant, and the sergeant just, and in the script, it says captain.
Yep.
So it's like, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
It don't matter.
Yeah. So I mean, in the end, but I mean, I can see that some people definitely have kind of name especially if they'll name a character Ezekiel or where they go Bible Bible way. Usually there's a reason. They name it if something sounds very similar to Judas, it's because the character is gonna betray somebody, or I mean, it's very.
I mean, when I was younger, I thought that was kind of cool, but as I get older and older, I'm like, it's you're telegraphing your stuff.
Exactly. There's there are people that do small nods to that, but I honestly, for the life of me, a lot of the times I just if I know that person's name is gonna be referenced a lot, I want to do a name that is very flowing. You know what I mean?
Well,
I don't want to name them Asmodan or something that, and they're going to be referenced in somebody's monologue 18 times.
Well, if his name is Osmo Dan, you expect that character to be something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or if you title a character Ezekiel, you kind of expect an old-fashioned character. You can't expect Ezekiel. Oh, he's a like a fun-loving pirate, space pirate.
Yeah.
Named Ezekiel. No, that's you, Osmo Dan. That's a fun-loving space pirate.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So you could do your names like the way you do. Maybe your names kind of portray something about your character.
Yeah.
Like our character, Baron von. Baron von something or another.
Wolfhausen? No.
Yeah,
Is
Winchester.
it Wolfhausen? Or Winchester?
So we created a character for friend Anthony Simpson called Baron von. I can't remember.
Anybody wants to watch the actual thing? I think he says his name.
It's on there. It's on there a couple times.
Yeah.
But yeah, Baron.
hello.
I'm trying to think of the name of the book I was reading that was Ignatius.
Ignatius.
Baron von Ignatius Winchester the Third.
That's what it is.
So you know exactly what kind of character that is based by the name. So I think that's the way you read your name. So if you like, for someone like Mark, it's just a name. It can be whatever you make of it.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway.
Let's see. If you're doing a period piece, you really should do research into popular names at the time.
Yeah,
of
sure.
course. Yeah, and
Yeah,
you're not gonna have someone named Timmy, in like the 1800s or 1700s.
No, or you like a Heather. No, what's another popular Brittany? You know,
Daenerys at this point.
Well, yeah.
Which seems to probably. Don't know if you talked about SDCC, but Marvel presented their Phase 4. Do you think the superhero bubble is going to burst anytime soon? It has been for years, but not really. No, it's always it's always going to simmer at the top because we did talk about this, which is basically you look at that Phase 4. I'm just going to cover it quickly.
Phase
you look
4,
at that Phase 4 and you're like, oh my gosh, this is going to be super inundated. So many movies, but then you don't count in the gap of time because the fact is we're in 2019 and that doesn't wrap till 2021, and also you're not going to see all those because some of them are going into Hulu, some of them are going into Disney Plus, some of them are not going into Netflix because that's gone, but or Marvel's
not going to
has stepped away from that. So the fact that it's going to be in Disney Plus and Hulu and all these other things, you're maybe going to see like the tip of the iceberg on it because like a small amount of those are actual movies. So yeah,
what
you're
are
really
we
not
looking at? Like 2 to 3, or no, 3 to 4 movies a year.
For
Marvel.
Yeah, about 3
just
to 4.
for Marvel.
Yeah, because like if you look into the Phase 4 thing, there's a What If, which is a cartoon.
Okay.
There is the Loki TV show.
That's a TV show.
There's the Hawkeye TV show, and then there's the
Black Widow.
The Black Widow's the movie.
Oh, it's a movie. Okay.
But then there's the Vision WandaVision.
That's a show.
Which is a show. And there's a Howard the Duck, which is Hulu Plus, which is actually going to be
Kevin Smith,
Kevin
right?
Smith.
Yeah.
And then Blade was shown on the Phase 4.
But,
however, that's 2022 somewhere.
Yeah, so it might be Phase 5.
So that's probably tip of Phase 4, beginning of Phase 5, like the transition, kind of what Spider-Man Far From Home was kind of. It's kind of like that little middle ground between Phase 3 and Phase 4. And then... So you have like the ones you really have are what is his freaking name? The one that Benedict Cumberbatch is.
Mountains of Madness.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, Black Widow, Black Panther 2.
Is there Guardians? Did they announce that in there? Or?
Guardians is going to probably be in Phase 5 because. James Gunn is actually DCing right now for Suicide.
So we're not going to see Spider-Man back until Phase 5, you think?
I have a feeling, yeah, probably.
He'll probably pop up here and there.
He'll probably pop up here and there, and other people's like, the Scarlet Witch is going to show up in Doctor Strange's. Then you also have the Falcon, Captain Falcon, and the Winter Soldier.
That's a TV show, right?
That's a TV show as well.
The Shang-Chi, which is a completely... That's a completely new property.
Which is a completely new property, which actually kind of look for because it kind of is going to touch into the 10 Rings.
Yeah.
Which was touched in Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3.
3.
And you're probably going to see the real version of the
Mandalorian. Mandalorian.
Not the Mandalorian.
The Manchurian.
Manchurian. Whatever his name. I can't think of his name for the life of me right now.
Yeah. So I mean, the thing is though, like the Shang-Chi, right?
Yeah, Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi is not your typical comic book as we imagine it.
Yeah.
Movie. It's different.
Yeah. Oh, and Thor 4.
The Thor 4 is really late though, right?
Yes, super late.
So we're not going to see that for a while.
No.
But Shang-Chi is not. You're not walking to Shang-Chi. Oh, this is a this is like Batman. This is Spider-Man. This is more like a martial arts mystic.
Oh yeah.
Magics. So it's like fantasy almost. Asian fantasy. If you want to call
The
it
Mandarin.
that.
Thank you.
Mandarin. They're asking me
Manchurian Candidate.
Manchurian Candidate. So anyhow, the point is it a bubble? I don't think, because they're not all the same movie.
Yeah.
So once you start digging down, and I know we covered this, and I covered it in my video is comic book movies destroying cinema, and the answer is no. It's just there's different flavors of this stuff. We're just adapting a new source material that we haven't been adapting for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's like, well, man, they make so many movies out of novels.
Yeah.
When are they gonna stop making movies out of novels?
Okay,
Like,
here
no,
we go.
they
Well,
won't.
so we'll change a little bit, which is I didn't like cinematography in Blade Runner 2049. I thought that
Oh,
it
you
was
didn't?
bland in comparison to
Okay.
original cinematography, especially scenes in an apartment. Am I wrong? Not that you're wrong. No one is. You can like or dislike anything. Like you're
Yeah,
not
that's true.
wrong. But I don't particularly agree with you on that. But that's like again. Everybody's eye is different. Some people are drawn to to certain things. Some people aren't. I don't like Star Wars, the new ones. John does.
Am I a bad? He responds, "Am I a bad person for thinking this?"
But
No,
John
you're
is a
not.
bad person for liking Star Wars. That's
I'm a
little
bad
different.
person for other reasons. I like Star Wars. Star Wars is just a consequence of that.
Yeah, there you go. No, but no, I mean, I like The Last Action Hero, which is Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that nobody likes.
No one.
Nobody likes
And
that.
Tim likes Black Sheep
Or Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy,
And-
which is no
which
sense.
is not a bad movie. Just he likes it way too much.
Well, I think let me just address this a little bit because Blade Runner was shot by Roger Deakins, who's kind of a very well known cinematographer, probably maybe the top 5 cinematographers working today. If you didn't like, I'm not saying if you don't like it. Deakins has a very naturalistic style.
Yeah.
It's very clean. Deakins shoots very, very clean, very methodical. He's not like a super crazy, all kinds of crazy lights. He's very simple, clean, pure. Maybe the word pure is better for what he does. It's hard to put words into these things, and my sensibilities. Deakins also shot the Skyfall, but I think he did a better job with the movie before two movies. No, Skyfall. Never mind. Skyfall.
Yeah, the James Bond one.
James Bond, the one where he's going into the
Yeah, Skyfall is when he goes back home, right?
Yeah, but I'm thinking the one where he spends the time in Hong Kong. And that's the first part of Skyfall.
That's the first part of
yeah,
Skyfall.
like the Skyfall, the fight in the building when they're shooting. That was cool. And then the shots of the island next door to Hong Kong where they do all the gambling. I forget the name of the island. But all that stuff was just gorgeous.
Yeah.
So Deakins does that. Blade Runner 2019 has a lot of that same flavors. Again, it's kind of similar. It's a neon yellows and a lot of very bold colors.
Yeah.
So maybe just you don't really care for Deakins' style. That's all it is. You're
Yeah.
not a bad person.
Let's see. So real quick.
Yeah,
here.
Deakins.
Paul liked Last Action Hero. I don't know if you've seen Last Action Hero.
I saw it in the theater.
Did you?
Yeah, that's how long ago it's been.
Yeah. So.
I mean,
well,
I'm sure I would appreciate it if I watched it now.
Yeah. Let's see.
Because it's got probably a lot. It's got most of the good Arnold quotes that's in here. In the soundboard.
Halloween 3. That's another film nobody likes. I don't really remember watching Halloween 3. I probably saw it way back. What's your opinion of Terry Gilliam? Really
Gilliam.
like it, and why do you think is not hugely popular? I'm not sure.
Well, Terry Gilliam can get overbearing sometimes. He comes up. The movie Brazil is a good example, I think, because it's a great movie.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, again, this is my opinion. I think it's a great movie for 80% of the movie, and it just keeps going.
Yeah.
He doesn't know when to stop. But he has all these great ideas, and but at the end of the movie, you're just exhausted and you're tired. And I think that's the problem with Gilliam is he's a Monty Python member. He's the guy that did the animations.
Oh, actually, okay. And Henry
Yeah.
said Halloween 3 was the standalone one without Michael Myers. I do remember that one now.
Oh, behave.
Without Michael Myers, yeah. Oh, behave.
Okay.
What are your... Okay, we'll do this one real quick
right.
because I feel like it's going to slap off
It's gonna
the thing.
slide. Go.
Go slide. Okay, what are your opinions on Harry Potter?
Oh my God! Really? We're gonna go? To
Yeah,
Harry
we're
Potter?
going there
We're
slightly.
Going to Harry Potter.
We're just gonna go through it quick.
I liked the first 3 Harry Potters, and I just started losing interest. And I made the mistake of putting on the Deathly Hallows Part 1. I was watching it, and I know that Daniel Radcliffe had a drinking problem, and I could kind of see it on the screen. His performance was so like bland and boring. And I was like, all right, I'm lost. I don't know what the hell's going on. I give up on this franchise. You go,
Yep.
Joe.
So, okay. In the end, I really did like it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was, for the most part, good. They'll remake it again in a long while, and then we'll get to see Daniel Radcliffe's take on somebody else completely redoing Harry Potter.
Or Daniel Radcliffe directs.
Or
That'd be kinda
Daniel,
cool.
yeah, that would be interesting. The original Harry Potter doing it. Also, the fact is I think I liked the very first one of Mystical Beasts and Where to Find It. The second one was really boring as hell. And so, all in all, I think the Harry Potter franchise was good, and I don't know. It was a solid set of movies. So, I think we'll go with that.
Speaking of which, I haven't because I think I have been watching Good Omens. Is that a British? That's a British production, right?
Yes.
You can kind of tell, like, something about the British productions. They have this thing about them. I don't know what it is. It's just like a flavoring or something.
Yep.
You can kind of tell they're British.
Also, we're going to have a smattering of... So, I liked at Last Action Hero 2. Remember the joke, there are only beautiful women here? And the kid says, because it's a movie. And Arnold goes, no, it's California. I love that. That was a really good comment in the thing. They had some really good zingers in there. All right.
That's why I think I would like watching it now, because I would recognize all those zingers.
Let's see. What do you think about modern film scores and the rise of copying temp music?
I don't think really there is a rise. I think that's kind of selective memory. Honestly, I think there's a video out there that every frame did a painting, every frame a painting, which is just wrong. That video don't fault that completely wrong stuff in that video. I have friends that actually write temp music. Or a guy that went to high school, Trevor Vesnesky.
Yeah,
he did He did the sound, if you say those Carl's Jr. ads, like ba-bow, ba-bow, like the really fat bass. He wrote that.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't talked to people that write temp tracks are just working musicians.
Yep.
They're trying to make a buck. They're not famous.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I like this one. Just because, in a way, I find that true. I liked Maleficent, and we'll probably like the new one. It's like fan fiction in a way of Sleeping Beauty.
It really is.
It really is.
It really is.
I kind of agree with that. It's where someone just says, what if it was the... And yeah, essentially, it's just a takeoff of fan fiction.
Sequels are just basically official fan fiction.
Yeah, that is true.
Somebody else wrote the second version of the... It's like Jaws. Jaws 4 is fan fiction.
Yeah.
Jaws 2 is fan fiction. Oh my God.
Harry Potter was a great example of where the synergy of actors makes the movie even better. Yeah, I
so
agree.
that's why made me bring up the Good Omens. It's kind of like it's a very British thing, They're very British. They're all on the same page. We Americans, we're so different. We can't get all together. We start fighting with each other.
Yeah.
The British say, let's have a cup of tea.
Okay, here you go. Because I know what the answer is going to be on this. Roger asked, on the subject, do you guys watch other film-centric YouTube channels? Yes. And one that we both watch is...
Red Letter Media. We're always going to mention that one.
Yeah. That's... Honestly, I don't really too much.
So this is going to be the Red Letter Media corner. We should have a little graphic for it.
Yeah, we wish we had the
So this graphic. Is what I like what Rich said on that video on... the last video was, there's all these small bands... local bands that can go around and make money that you've never heard of.
Yeah.
But they can go around making money. That's what all these little comic book TV shows.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were still making Wonder Girl or whatever.
Oh, Supergirl?
Supergirl. I didn't know. I don't know. Watch it. But there's enough fans that there's season 8 of them. So all these other shows, you don't have to watch them. You can't be upset. I can't believe they're making all these Superbook comic books. So you don't have to watch them. Let the fans watch them.
Yeah.
If you like them, you like them. If you don't like them, don't watch them.
Yep.
No whoopsie.
Yeah. So there you go. That I think.
So that's one. If you want to check out one I like is Wisecrack. Does a lot of good film stuff and they're heavy philosophy.
Yeah.
So they're very, very, and the guy has this hair that's just this. He's red hair and it's just like a mop on his head. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I don't really watch too many other than Red Letter Media simply because I like their their like in a way negativity.
No, it's not negativity. It's cynicism.
Yeah.
You like their cynicism because
The cynicism.
Just
yeah.
be careful with the cynicism because you can go crazy with it.
But I mean, there's just enough where it's like, I kind of usually agree. So I'm usually somewhere in the middle between Jay and Mike. So
I'll throw a couple other. I watch a lot of Double Toasted from guys from Austin, Texas. I watch what's this? Shoot, I'm actually a patron of his on Patreon. Speaking of which,
the Double Toasted group, or
they don't have a Patreon.
No.
Check out our Patreon. It's Patrick H. Willems. H. Willems. I like his stuff. Captain Disillusion, which I'm also a patron of.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Although he doesn't, he needs more effects, not so much film centric. Like,
yeah, his is really cool for a breakdown of effects.
Yeah, we were watching his with Beaker, with Mr. Beaker.
Do you think Tim Burton has lost his touch, or is just another bad period? I don't think he's lost his touch. I can't really think of anything right now that
he made Dumbo.
Oh, I didn't watch it.
No one watched it. It's a failure.
All of his stuff always just has a tint of dark. But the thing is a lot of the time, I'm wondering, the Dumbo. Okay, so essentially, Dumbo already had a beginning, a middle, and end, and so it was really just Tim Burton's touch, probably.
But they did change the story quite a bit, I think. I didn't see it.
Again, I didn't see it
It
either.
had Batman as the owner of a circus.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. What's his face? Michael Keaton.
Oh, Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton was the owner, and then Danny DeVito's in it, which is Danny DeVito's always fun to watch. I mean,
Did he go wow 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 wow? And then
the Batman. That's right.
Yeah.
The Batman and the Penguin are back together
Yeah.
in Dumbo.
And then, and then just had Michael Keaton chasing him around going, "I'm Batman." Like, I don't know.
I probably had Helen Bonham Carter because it's his wife, so you had to throw his wife in there. Tim Burton, I don't know if he's lost it or he's just getting tired. The movie, last movie I liked of his was Big Eyes. Have you seen that one? Big Eyes, Joe?
Which one?
Big Eyes?
No.
It's the one where it's this artist in the 50s that used to draw these paintings of kind of creepy looking cartoon kids with big eyes.
Yeah.
And her husband's played by Christopher Waltz, and it's Lois Lane. What's her name? Amy Adams.
Oh.
Plays this girl, and then her husband basically back in the time women weren't taken seriously as artists, so her husband's like, well, I painted these are mine.
Oh.
And she went along with it, like, because then he got super rich for it, but he kind of became a big-headed and became an asshole, and kind of like left and started cheating on her. That's a pretty good movie. It's kind of sad. Very Tim Burton-esque. Tim Burton would make a drama about a woman who paints creepy creatures with big eyes.
Of course.
Of course he's going to make a movie about that.
Yep. All right.
Anyhow.
So I popped one up real quick just because I don't want Lev to think we're ignoring him. Have you seen Happy? It's based on the Grant Morrison comic. I've seen I've seen or heard of it. I have not watched it. I've always thought I've seen it. I'm like, at one point I will watch this, but I haven't watched it yet. It's one of those things that's on the list, but it hasn't shown up, or hasn't been something I've gone for yet. I don't know if John has seen it. But.
No, I don't even know what Happy is. What is that?
So essentially, it's like, from what I can tell, it's like a guy who essentially is kind of a little crazy or something, but he's also kind of, I don't know, comic booky. I don't know.
It's not Jon Favreau, is it?
Of it. Yeah, it's Jon Favreau, basically. I've seen it, but I haven't watched it.
'Cause I'm happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Beetlejuice was obviously very good. But yeah, if I see it, Lev, we'll probably definitely talk about it one way or the other. I just haven't looked at it yet.
I like put up Lev Myshank. You got just put it. I don't want to give it away.
Which one's that?
Let's see. No,
that was the one.
No, that's not the one. I'm sorry. This is terrible. This is terrible live television on this one.
This one?
No, the one above it.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I think this is funny. It's a terrible.
Oh, there you go.
We just wasted that joke.
I ain't never seen a Johnny Depp fly. Yeah, there you go.
Have you ever seen a Johnny Depp fly? It's a Dumbo reference.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Horrible joke.
Have you listened to the You Must Remember This podcast? If so, what's your opinion? I have not.
Podcasts I should listen to more. I just got a podcast thing because you know why? I was listening to Leonard Maltin podcast. And I wanted to hear what George R. R. Martin was saying. Spent an hour listening to him because all these you go online. I hate this. I hate about blogosphere. Online, you hear George R.R. Martin says something from a podcast, and I'm like, oh well, I better. I want to listen to it. I listen to it and like, dude, that in context, it sounded nothing the way they try to portray it.
Yeah, the
on
way they
paper.
clipped it. Yeah.
But I listened to the whole 2-hour podcast of George R.R. Martin because I think he's just a fascinating character.
Yeah.
To listen to. But George R.R. Martin is like the most like man, aren't you mad what happened to Game of Thrones? Like, no.
Yeah.
It's like, I got other stuff brewing, and heck, people like this stuff, and I made millions.
Yeah.
You think I'm upset?
Yeah.
No, of course not.
Exactly.
It's like, people need to. That's George R.R. Martin's a treasure. I want to go to New Mexico. He has a theater in New Mexico.
Does he?
Yeah, that's what they were doing. Leonard Maltin was doing the podcast in his theater.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, yeah, we should go to the theater, and he's like, we got the best popcorn.
There you go.
Because George R.R. Martin knows popcorn.
There's a Ride of Adventure. We'll go there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We'll do a joint IQ Ride of Adventure. All right. Let's see. Well,
so check out You Must Remember This podcast, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, well, check it out. Thanks a lot there, Mark, and welcome.
Yeah.
So let's see. I kind of went through
I had one
majority.
Film Fanatic, their personal question.
Oh, there you go.
I'll pop that one up on screen
Oh, yeah,
for
let's
us.
do this. Personal question. Yeah.
That's an interesting one. What time is it?
There you go.
12:11. Okay. Personal question, if you're going to make a big budget movie, did you do film, 2 digital, or spherical, anamorphic? The answer to your question is a lot to do with the kind of movie you're trying to make.
Yeah.
So if you're going to make like an epic, like sweeping movie, you might want to do it in a scope, widescreen, 2.39. If you're doing a comedy or a romantic movie, you might not want that wide of an image. You might want to go for a more spherical projection. Digital or film, that's really up to you and your working style. I am a digital guy. I've always been a digital guy, so I'm going to pick digital. But if you're a film guy, you're a film guy, and you should pick film.
Yep.
And God bless you, keep film alive. That's how I feel about it. So
Exactly.
That's it.
So there you go. Do you think bad movies, The Room, Troll 2, Batman and Robin, Fateful Findings, have a value? Yes.
Oh yeah, sure.
I am a fan of schlock.
Last Jedi.
No, I could have died. Anyway, but
So
that's just
bad, it's
me.
good.
So bad, it's good. It's not good. It's not good.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's so bad.
I could go for some blue milk right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Straight from the big giant titty from that thingy.
Yep.
Sitting
There
there.
you go. Why not?
And
But yes, Henry, I do think that bad movies have a value, and I think
obviously they're funny.
yeah. I mean, the thing is The Room obviously has become a cult classic.
I think The Room is the bad movie you are introduced to the world of bad movies with.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to watch bad movies, go hang out with the Red Letter folks, and then they're
Batman and Robin is the one that had Arnold Schwarzenegger, right?
yes,
That
it
the
was.
freeze. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Take these 2 pills and gotta be in the morning.
Although in our sets we often quote that movie.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody, freeze.
Yeah. Chill. Anyway, yeah, so that is one that we kind of reference a lot.
What did you think?
Joel Schumacher wrote Car Wash with Carlin and Pryor. Have some respect.
Yeah,
that is true. That is true. But still, it was. I mean, it's campy.
Just hit up Eric S. and what do you think of the overhyped Midsummer? I really enjoyed Midsummer, so I don't think it was overhyped. I thought it was really, really good. But again, people are going to like it because it's not your typical horror film.
Yep.
Horror film.
Kung Fury. That was hilarious.
Kung Fury was purposely bad, though.
Yeah.
That was
exactly.
good.
It was
Black Dynamite.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like Black Dynamite.
But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs in our neighborhood.
Yeah. Gotta stop selling it. Anyone who does is gonna be in trouble. But Black Dynamite, I do sell drugs in the
What was the
neighborhood.
other one? It's like, gotcha, sucker. I threw that from other room.
Yeah, it's like, he's like, if you come through that door, Black Dynamite, I'm gonna kill you. And then all of a sudden the knife just comes and cuts both his hands off. He's like, ha! So it was you. I threw that from the other room. Like, just...
That movie is so funny.
Yeah.
I think when it first, did I see it with you?
Yeah, we
when I
saw
first
it
saw it,
in
I think I
Ontario.
made it way too big of a deal.
Yeah.
Like I made it too much in my head. So I was kind of disappointed when I saw it. But then I watched it again, and I thought it was even better the second time I saw it.
Yeah.
So quotable. Anyhow,
Yep. That was my favorite line too. That was the knife one. I threw that from the other room.
That movie is so funny.
It's just like, because it's not even like, the best part of it was it's not even like you hear a noise like of something being thrown or anything like that. It's just like he's standing there waiting for Black Dynamite to come in, and then just this knife comes and cuts his hands off.
Well,
Like,
the best, I think, from the
I love
trailer
it.
too, but it's like the line.
and then he comes from not even coming
He's walking
from like,
in, yeah.
He doesn't come like from a shoulder shot where he's looking at the door. He comes in from the left, like there's a secondary door, like on the other side of where the knife came from. So he threw it like a boomerang. I love that fight.
Well, I mean, just another flavor. If you guys haven't watched Black Dynamite, you need to watch it.
Yeah.
But the trailer, part of the trailer, were like, "Hey, Black Dynamite, is that a smile?" I was like, "I am smiling." He's just not.
Yep.
You
How about
gotta
a smile?
watch
I
your
am
homework.
smiling.
Your homework is to watch Black Dynamite. Everybody, go out, watch that. Watch Black Dynamite.
There you go.
All right. What do you think about? One
Yep,
more?
that's the one I'm popping up. What do you think about Asian movies?
Some very general question, I guess. My mom watches a ton of Asian television. Can I give you my honest opinion?
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Asian television makes every. Oh, thank you, Eric, for the $10.
Thank you for the $10.
Like the $10 share there. But I'll just finish my idea here. Asian television, like American television, is so much more professionally produced than Asian television. It's like corny and crappy. They play the same damn music, stock music, over and over again. It drives you crazy. I can't believe, like, Chinese. I'm not talking about Japanese television. I'm talking about Chinese television. We obviously get the best of Asian cinema over here. So anyhow, I mean, Asian cinema is like American cinema. There's going to hits and misses. Let's see what Eric was saying here.
He said, "I'm convinced 235 is liked so much because of most of the time it is viewed on HD monitors. It's the black bars that are liked, not the actual aspect ratio." What do you think?
Well, the black bars are the aspect ratio.
Yeah.
You can't have the aspect ratio without the black bars. So, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like you can't have 2.35.
Yeah, without
putting the black bar on a regular TV. You can have a 2.35, and technically it's 2.39 nowadays, but you can't unless you have one of those 21:9 monitors. But then, like when you're watching regular TV, then you got all the black bars on the side.
Yeah,
and people dislike that more than they dislike the top and bottom bars.
It's kind of like if you remember in the movie theater where like it had the thing and then all of a sudden it goes just you know what I mean?
THX sound effect goes off.
And the little things come down a little bit to just narrow it, and you know what I mean? But like these seem to drive you crazy versus like this where it's just like, oh, because you almost are used to it.
Well, it's because we have eyelids that close up and down.
Exactly.
You can always squint and
exactly.
You can turn Chinese. I am Chinese. I can do that.
So there you go.
I can do that.
Let's see. Did you guys know you scheduled this show at the same time as the Fortnite World Series?
Yes, we did.
That's right. We were specifically doing that.
We hate Fortnite.
That's right.
We're going against Fortnite right now.
Yep. A week and a day ago, I saw the photorealistic computer-generated remake of The Lion King. I find that as awesome as the original one from a quarter century ago. What are your thoughts on that? We actually did tackle this, which is
text goes over the box.
Oh, it went down. We ruined it right at the end. But our thought on it is that I feel, and I think John kind of agrees, that the deadpan face doesn't really work.
Deadpan face, and the fact that the story wasn't updated.
Yeah.
Like update this. If you're going to do that, update the story.
Let's see. Imagine watching The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly on old CRT TV with 4:3 aspect ratio.
I've done it.
Yeah, same.
We used to live.
That was the time we lived in.
I know, you kids these days. Imagine having to watch stuff on the 4:3 television.
And Izzy,
thank
you.
Lord.
Happy Saturday. I don't know if you're still here. Hopefully you still are.
You know, it's funny because I never talked about it. I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. There is a scene where they're sitting there like watching a movie on their or watching their show on their TV screen, and it's like a 13-inch TV screen, but it's like a massive cabinet. Mm-hmm. This is '69. I mean, this is like 10 years. 69. Like, well, it's about 20 years after the invention of television and then popularization of television. But yeah. Anyhow. Oh, thank you, Eric, for another question. Another super chat.
No, but my point is that I don't think people would prefer to watch a screen that is widescreen, in which case they would be...
No black bars.
Yeah.
Not quite sure how to follow up on that. Follow that. Because, people have. Well, I guess the question is, why aren't all TVs 29:9, the super widescreen?
Yeah.
It's because broadcast standards aren't 29:9; they're 16:9.
Yeah.
So people are generally using their TVs to watch more than movies. They're using TVs to watch sports, watch news, to watch cooking shows, and those are all broadcast 16:9. So if you have a 16:9 with a 21 screen, you're gonna have the black bars on the side, and that feels bad because I paid for that wide of a screen. Whereas I don't feel bad if you just do this to my screen a little bit. It is a
I mean, it's
compromise.
It's a compromise. It's a preference thing too. I feel like certain people are going to be, some people just may enjoy the bars on the side. Some people, but I mean, there's certain aspect ratios I think that just feel better to some people.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so a lot of video games and stuff like that. Old SNES is, you have the sidebars now because it was the aspect ratio. And you're not and if you try to make it fit today, it squishes it.
Yeah.
And it's just not good. So, yeah. So, I mean, all in all, you're going to find something that one way or another that hits your preference and hits that spot of, oh, this is okay, and versus this is not.
Now,
okay.
I'll be honest, if you don't mind the sidebars and you think that the widescreen TVs are better, then go ahead and get one. I just think that most people prefer the letterboxing, and because also culturally, we've been watching letterboxing for a lot longer than the pillar box style.
Yep.
So. Anyhow.
Okay, Film Fanatic asked, I'm sorry if you've already discussed it, but did you like Once Upon a Time?
I actually did not discuss it yet.
And you did not.
So I guess there's a chance.
Sadly, you're going to have to discuss this one alone because I got to actually get going. But,
all right, so our friend Joe has to go to work.
So I've got to go. Thank you guys so much. I will be on the next one as usual. Just today is super jam-packed for me. So I will see you guys on the next one. And hopefully in 2 weeks we'll have a little bit more information on the Right of Adventure site.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. All right, guys.
All right, well, Joe's leaving. I'll finish it up here. We'll probably go for another 15 minutes or so. And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I watched this guy Thursday night. Watch Joe. There he goes.
Well, actually, yeah. Wait.
Was that?
Okay, yeah, it was yours. Yeah.
You're fine. All right, so I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. See ya, dude.
I gotta change anyway.
Oh, you gotta change. Okay. So I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody that's here because it is a film that has a big giant spoiler in the end. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. The problem I think with the film is so much of and I'll just speak candidly about it. So much of the film felt kind of dull and boring. There are about 3 or 4 scenes that are classic Quentin Tarantino, full of humor, full of real tension, full of real excitement. But then large stretches of the film where it just feels indulgent and pointless. There's a lot of scenes of them driving around, and you hear obviously Quentin Tarantino's classic radio in the background. He's always playing songs from the 70s. There's a ton of that, so much so that it's a little too much for me. So I felt for the first 2/3 of the movie, there's some good stuff, but otherwise kind of boring. And then the final act kind of ties everything together, so it makes you kind of reevaluate everything. I kind of dig the final act. I know a lot of people think that the final act kind of goes a little bit off board, but to me it kind of becomes truly Tarantino-esque in the final act. Again, I'm not going to spoil the ending, although just a hint, the title kind of gives it away. But in the very end of my short review, I don't think it was Tarantino's best movie. It won't be the movie that he's remembered for. It's not even as good as Jackie Brown. So it's kind of down there toward the bottom, I think. It's a lot of indulgence. I personally find it more interesting to read about the character of Rick Dalton than to actually watch the film. So there's that. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it because it's worth checking out. So, yeah, that's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. What else? I've been watching Good Omens, so I'm working through that. I'm enjoying that show, although I fell asleep for some of the first part. It wasn't the show's fault. I'm just tired all the time. Let's talk about Leo DiCaprio's best performance. Yes, Leo DiCaprio is the best in this film. Brad Pitt is so good in this film. And again, we're not going to spoil it, but there's a lot of talk. Let's talk about the chatter about the film. Sharon Tate's the person that plays Sharon Tate, what's her name? Margot Robbie. People are complaining that she wasn't used much in this film. Thing is, that's purposefully done. If you used her more, the ending would not work the same way. She needs to have kind of a distance to her that makes it worth it. Now, why did they give her star rating, top billing, third billing, right behind DiCaprio and Brad Pitt? Because she's gorgeous. That's probably why. She's gorgeous. The film is kind of about Sharon Tate, but I won't say more than that. So the funny thing, I'm gonna go in a weird. Let's throw that up there. So Brandon says, weird theory. Brad Pitt plays a grown-up Floyd from True Romance and eventually turns into the dude. Perhaps. Yeah, I'm trying to remember True Romance Floyd that well. I can't remember True Romance too well. But he is kind of the dude, but he's so cool and he's like such a good buddy to Leo and Leo. Again, I'm not going to go too much in spoilers. Let's see here. Nope, I should just leave that up there. There's a good question from Fan Fanatic. Do you think filmmakers like yourself would dig it more than the average film moviegoer? All right, it's an interesting question because I don't think Fan Fanatics, I think people that were alive at the time maybe would enjoy it more. People that knew the story of Sharon Tate and Roman Polanski would probably would enjoy it more. If you don't know anything about Sharon Tate and her murder, then you will not understand the point of the movie. But if you're familiar with it, at least a little bit, the lore and the history of it, you'll kind of get it. What bothers me as a filmmaker, though, is the way filmmaking is portrayed in Hollywood. And Quentin Tarantino kind of does the cheap effect. He does the cheap thing where he makes the film look. He doesn't portray filmmaking as it really happens. He portrays it more like as if it's a stage play, where the whole entire scene is walked all the way through. Whereas in reality, obviously a scene is not gone all the way through. And the way he shot his TV show was way, way better than the way they would have shot TV shows back in those days. They did not have the technology for a really long tracking shot. Certainly not for television. So that bothered me more as a filmmaker, film historian with air quotes there, because I'm not really that great a film historian. So that's my take on that. It's harder without Joe because I have to do three things at once here. Let's go. Henry Anderson says, when it comes to adaptation of books, do you think the focus should be on the accuracy of the source, Shining miniseries, or the film itself, Kubrick's Shining? It comes to anything you do, any kind of adaptation, the focus should be the accuracy to the story, or not necessarily the accuracy, should be serving the story. So there's Kevin Smith on his podcast, another channel I watch a lot of. He talks about this one writer whose approach to adapting a story is to go through the material two times, and then he puts the material away, and then he writes it as if he was telling his friend the story, because what you remember of the story, that's going to be the best parts of the story. So that's his approach. So I'm totally agreeing with that. I think adaptations are in their own sense a new product. So you have full right and full reign to do whatever you want with it. People have expectations, obviously. You're not going to go see Star Wars, and people are expecting to see X-Wings and TIE Fighters. I wish we'd start moving away from that, which is why I liked Last Jedi. We can talk about Last Jedi now that Joe's not here. Which is why I liked Last Jedi, because it's starting to say, hey, let's move away. Let's go a different direction. But yeah, you do have, your duty to the viewer is very much kind of a marketing thing almost. Your duty is to create the story, to create the best story possible. So, okay. Put that one up there. You must remember this has an actually interesting series on Hollywood in the 1960s and the Manson gang. Yeah. If you follow that, I think that's obviously, if you read up on that and know all of that, that's good. That's good for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. If you don't have any clue, Manson is just a punk rocker from the 90s, not punk rocker, but a whatever, gothic rock, then you won't get it. So, here's one I could talk about for a long time. Film Fanatic asks, do you personally prefer to work with storyboards beforehand, or you decide the movie shots and camera angles on the spot? I want to do a video on this topic for a long time now. Storyboards. I think storyboards are great. I think they're also terrible, because I think as a filmmaker, as a young filmmaker, so I deal a lot with novice filmmakers. This is the nature of the channel. I like to hang out and talk about filmmaking to a fault. The problem is young filmmakers will get way too invested in storyboards and not invest enough in actually going out there and producing and shooting the film. I'll be honest. There's some software out there called CineTracker or something like that, where people are kind of building these huge elaborate sets and lighting them like crazy. And I'm thinking, like, you guys don't have access to those sets. You don't have access to that kind of lighting. You're building all this stuff in this software. It doesn't really teach you anything other than, I guess, maybe some composition. And okay, I can see some value in that. But as a tool for creating actual films, I don't think it helps, because you need to get out there and play with your camera, get familiar with the focal lengths and what they do, get familiar with how to light something. What happens if you put a light over there versus what happens if you put a light over there? What happens if you put a reflector down here? What does that look like in your head? You need to start absorbing this information or this feeling of how to shoot. And then you will know how to, then you will become a better filmmaker, and then your storyboards will become more better because you'll have a sense of what you're trying to do. So I generally, it depends on the scene. If I'm shooting a scene that's two people talking to each other, I'm not going to storyboard that, because all I got to do is cover it, right? I mean, we're going to get there, we're going to block it, we're going to sit people down, we're going to talk to each other. I don't need to storyboard that. However, if I'm going to shoot an extremely detailed action piece that involves like multiple camera angles, maybe a moving shot, a tracking shot, 5 different actors, if we're going to do it on green screen, so none of it's going to be actually physically in the right places, then absolutely you have to storyboard that. You have to storyboard that to death, because you need to know when you go in the shoot, okay, I'm covered. You know, if you're shooting a restaurant scene with 2 people, it's easy to know if you're covered. But if you're making up all the stuff in post-production, you need that storyboard. So, long answer, that's the whole point of storyboards. The original purpose of storyboards, believe it or not, was to show the director what the set would look like. It wasn't a directing thing at all. It wasn't a directing thing until probably the 50s and 60s, when they adapted it from Disney. Disney was kind of the company that invented storyboards for their animations. In the whole story about Hitchcock storyboarding everything, that's kind of overbearing, overfluffed, over exaggerated hype. So, long answer for the storyboard the question there. Can we take a moment and appreciate Hayao Miyazaki? I always have trouble saying his name. For no particular reason other than the fact that he is awesome. I agree with that. We should definitely use that. Question, do I draw storyboards or use programs like the fancy one you said? I draw them because I can draw them faster than I can do spending time to actually do stuff in Photoshop or even the CineTracker or any of that, or any of those software programs. They have their place. You know, if I had a big giant client that wanted storyboards and all this stuff, I might use that software. But for myself, hand-drawn storyboards are totally fine. All right, let's go to Trevor. Pinrotnaki says, tangent alert, how long do you think it would be before people are using something like CineTracer to create a film? Just curious. Well, they're doing it now, but they're not using CineTracer, they're using Unreal Engine. I got a friend of mine who just created like a whole sci-fi, well, not whole sci-fi, but a good chunk of a sci-fi thing in Unreal. And by the way, unfortunately, my thing does not show me the super chat, but thank you, super chat from Girl Person. Sorry I missed all these past few months. You guys are great. Love your educational videos. Thank you so much. We're coming back with, I can put that on the screen actually. Thank you, Girl Person. We'll be coming back with more stuff pretty soon. As I said, my mom is having surgery next week, hopefully. So I've been kind of going crazy about that. Hayao. There we go. Hayao Miyazaki. That's the pronunciation. You're looking at a Chinese guy who learned English when he was 5 years old, and then came to America and lost all his Chinese because he didn't want to be thought of as Chinese. And now that I probably economically more beneficial to be thought of as a minority Chinese person, I adopt my Chinese past. And because my father passed away about 20 years ago, with my mom, so she's Chinese, so I'm inundated with Chinese culture all the time. Anyhow, Lev follows up with the who wants to look at my stick figures. A comment in regards to storyboards. That's what storyboards are, and that's, you know what, that's fine, and stick figures are perfectly okay, because ultimately you're not going to be showing people your stick figures in a movie. I saw Film Fanatic says I saw a video about a guy who does storyboards for Coen Brothers. I was surprised by how close it came to the final film look. I even think the artist has more of a director than most movie directors' thoughts. That is an interesting question, because we had that issue come up with Saul Bass in the movie Psycho, because Saul Bass was hired to draw the cartoon, the imagery for the storyboards for Psycho, and then there are people saying, well, Saul Bass must have directed that scene because Hitchcock literally copied the storyboard. Yeah, but the thing is, a director does a lot more than just storyboards, and a lot more than just creating an image, all right? Director has a lot more duty to do with performances and also deal with the cinematography. So yeah, you can kind of ape a style of a storyboard, but a storyboard is not a motion picture. And a storyboard is not what a director does. A director does a lot more than storyboarding. A lot more on the production side. So I can't make that thing. And then secondly, the storyboard artist is under the control of the director. So the storyboard artist says, hey, I got this great idea. And the director will look at it, I like it. Or the director will say, no, I don't like it. Throw it away. Do it this way. So the director controls the storyboard artist. It's like saying, well, look, the director didn't shoot the film, therefore he's not in charge of the movie. No, but he controls the guy that can shoot the film. So I wouldn't say that the storyboard artist is more of a director. The director still controls, storyboard artist might be the guy, one of the guys that offers suggestions to the director. The director ultimately has the responsibility of picking and choosing the shots. Oh, blessings to my mom. Thank you very much. Yeah, she's just having some work done on her spine because she has trouble walking, which is really a hindrance on me because I'm always helping her, taxing her around. But anyhow, she'll do fine with that. Yes, I know Miyazaki is Japanese. Yes. What would you like to see Tarantino after he retires his 10th film? Novels, stage, criticism, books. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever QT wants to do is fine by me, honestly. I enjoy his movies. I like listening to him talk, but I'm not a super diehard fan, but I do appreciate his work. So I think books would probably be the best place for him. I want to see that QT Star Trek film. That might be fun. Maybe the guys at Red Letter Media might not like that. City Tracer uses Unreal Engine 4, which provides an easier interface for people who don't want to muck around with Unreal Engine 4 toolset. Yeah, exactly. The thing with Unreal Engine's great for that kind of visualization. I do have people talking about the photo physics of it, or the photo engine is maybe not quite accurate as far as the way the lighting works. So we'll see. Ooh, here you go. Just look at the Watchmen adaptation as a finished comic book as a storyboard. Go back from Watchmen. Go back to Sin City. Sin City. It was so much so that Robert Rodriguez gave Tim Miller. I'm not sure if it's Tim or something else. Miller was his last name. Half a director's credit for that. So, I mean, yeah, it's true that the storyboard artist does important things. But again, when they made the first Sin City, they didn't have a director saying, hey, cut that shot out, So, did he need to give him credit? I don't know. But it was a nice gesture. Charles Hoffman. Oh, I used to be heavy into that stuff. I guess referring to Cine Tracer and Unreal Engine. You can't keep up with it and shoot and create stuff at the same time. There's only 24 hours a day. No kidding. Like, I'm having trouble just putting out like filmmaker IQ videos where I ramble on about exposure triangle, and just to keep track of all. Like, I kind of envy a lot of people who just sit down and watch like hours and hours of television, or even Joe who does like video games. I mean, envious. Like, I don't have time to dedicate to playing a lot of video games, or I do watch a lot more movies. I try to get out the movies as much as I can, but yeah, it's tough, man. When you're making your own films, it's a long approach. Okay. Well, yeah, that's why DP and Phil, the crew members, can end up controlling a film if you aren't careful. That's the job of your director. That's why you are the director. You are the captain of the ship, and it is something that's true. You have to make it known that this is your vision, and then you want other people to follow your vision. Now, there are many approaches to doing this. This is a topic that I love talking about because it's kind of a more advanced topic when dealing with filmmaking. It's how do you command a team? And we're talking about leadership skills now. Are you going to be autocratic? You're going to be a dick about it and tell everybody exactly what to do? Or you're going to do what I kind of do here, which is do everybody's job, or you take it all on your own burden, and then having to do everything yourself? Or you can delegate. There's a lot of leadership. This is all about leadership. This is all about tactful being, how to approach other people, other creative people who all have their own egos, right? Your DP has an ego. They're on this job, either for money if they're getting paid, or if, like all of us down here in the lower echelons of filmmaking, your DP's there to create because he likes the story, or he likes you, or he wants to have, he or she, let's not be sexist here, he or she wants something for their reel. So they want to do something cool visually that may not be appropriate for your film. How do you deal with that? You have to be tactful about that. You have to figure out ways to please that person and still get your vision across. So, yes. Now, the other thing, too, is remember that a director, you don't want the film to be all your vision. That'd be boring. You want other people's visions. There's an old saying which kind of hits me pretty personally, is that if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go with a lot of people. So if you want your movie to be a really strong, creative movie, you need to have the input of a lot of people. And that means you're going to have to give away some of your autonomy, give away some of your authority, give away some of your, quote, vision. Maybe you have a vision, bring other people into the fold, bring other people into the system, rather than saying my way or the highway. That's my personal approach. Anyhow, I haven't thought about that too. I mean, I should write something decent about it and put together in a nice script and put it out there. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Okay. Let's see. I just want to thank you for all. Oh, put this on. Thank you very much. I always have to put up the compliments because I'm a vain son of a bitch. Just want to thank you for all your lessons. Spent so much time learning about filmmaking history. 1 year ago, I got my job at a film archive for scanning 16 and 35 millimeter film. I love it. That is fun. Oh, that must be fun. That must be really cool. I'm just excited for that, dude. That's awesome, man. Gideon Gamer. Good for you, buddy. Good for you. All right, Lev Masheki, Happy Lynch versus Angry Kubrick. No idea what that means, but that is it. Hey, I'm gonna wrap it up here because I have somebody coming over for a lunch here. We'll hit a couple more questions here. RLM is my favorite comedy group working in any format. I do like them. I'm not as cynical as they are. So Joe's more cynical than I am. I like The Last Jedi. I'm not as cynical, but I do appreciate their cynical taste on things. There you go. How do you decide when someone else has a better idea than you, the director? Wow, that's a tough question. Well, how do you decide if you have a better idea? Let's take away of all of that. Take away whose idea it is. How do you know if you had an idea? Let's say you walk on a set and you just had an idea. Boom. Man, it would work so much better if this. All right. How do you know that's a better idea than the one you wrote or one you came up with before you arrived on set? So that's how you need to make that determination. It doesn't matter who came up with the idea. The idea is just the idea is, don't worry about who came up with it. How do you judge which idea is better? And that's comes to taste and experience and who you are as a filmmaker, who you are as a person, and your understanding of the story. You know, maybe in your experience, if I do this and change this now, can I recover? Can I get this other thing to adjust? You know, so forget about who came up with it. Think about, is the idea better? And actually, there's a story of Preston Sturges who he had a sign in his set that said, "I will give 25 cents for any person on the crew or the cast or even the caterer. If you come up with an idea that's better than mine and I use it, I will give you 25 cents." This is 1940s or so, right? So one day, like a gaffer came with an idea, and he's like, he talks to Robert Preston about it, and the whole cast is like, because no one thought he was serious, right? So this young gaffer gives him an idea. He's like, that is a good idea. He gives him a quarter, and the next day the sign was gone. they got rid of the sign. It's like, it's going to be challenged like that again. So yeah, the thing is, you gotta remember, the director and the producer, they're the people that stick around with the story for often years, so they understand intimately the story. You as an actor or as a guy that shows up as a PA, you're maybe there, you've only been with a story maybe like a day or 2 days. Sometimes you gotta you can make suggestions, you can say stuff, but be tactful about where you supply your opinion. Let's put it that way. Alrighty. What do you think of the portrayal? Let's put this on the screen. What do you think of the portrayal of Bruce Lee in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? I liked it. I thought it was pretty darn accurate. It's a little bit of a caricature, but he did talk like that. He actually probably, somebody was saying, he probably spoke English a little worse than the way they portrayed it. So I don't think it was any racially insensitive or anything like that. It really was. That's kind of very much like Bruce Lee. And ego can be a good thing. That's true. Ego is important because it's self-respect. However, too much ego, it's like everything in life. Too much of something is not good. Too little of something is not good. You gotta have just right. John is a major positive force in YouTube movie land. Thank you. I'm trying to be positive. I don't like hate. I don't like angry stuff. I don't like outrage. I like to be positive and let people do things. Let people enjoy their stuff. How do you feel about filming using a phone? I was talking to Joe about this last night. He was looking for a camera. I said, well, maybe you should just get a phone. Because his phone's kind of old. So, if the phone is the best camera you have on your person, then that's the camera you should use. All right, let's see here. Oh, cancel that one. Oh my God, I love this podcast. How did I just find it? Oh, well, hopefully you tune in and our podcast. I'll be honest, now that we're really late, no one's watching this, okay? I can kind of just go off the deep end here. Our podcasts do about 900 views or so per channel. They're not our most popular video. We do them because I like hanging out with you guys and kind of just not so much of a filter, just talk to you people and interact with people, because it gets kind of lonely when you're sitting there making your films, making these YouTube videos. So I enjoy doing them. They're not super widely watched. I get it. We used to get a lot of comments saying, what is this crap? You should go back to making real movies. It is what it is. This is just kind of us hanging out with you guys, and maybe we can try reaching out with the Facebook and Twitch and doing stuff. It's fun. It's enjoyable. Obviously, it's fun because we're here on a Saturday, right? So, anyhow, I love Mian Wang's comment. Sometimes you gotta learn to let go. As we say in the biz, kill your babies. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, let's take a look at this one. Phrase your suggestions in the form of question. Do you think it would help story? Oh, this is answering the other question. Do you think it would help the story if actor X was more fill in the blank, take the arrogance off of it, and it's better received? Yep. All right, Brennan writes, yeah, I've been subscribed for quite a while because I knew I'd eventually get around to watching Filmmaker IQ courses. This is my first time watching the podcast, so thank you. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, Mian Wang, that's morbid. That kill your babies is a very common language saying in filmmaking and in all the arts, really. Kill your babies. Kill your darlings, because they're like, I babied this thing for so over. If it's not good, just get rid of it. And let's see, Movie Maniac. It's such a help with me and my filmmaking experience a lot. You make it palatable. Thank you. Now, we tried... like I'm doing this video on why we need to ditch the exposure triangle. I'm hoping that some of this stuff kind of goes out there and seeps into the world and people kind of get what I'm trying to say. But man, filmmaking boards, and I've been kind of very depressed about the way like filmmaking is handled on Facebook and the way filmmaking is kind of handled. It's so like, I know we're down here. Look, I rent this studio space here. I pay, quite a bit of money for this place. I'm not making much money on YouTube here. We're all down here trying to make our films. This is a passion. This is what we do. But like, I have aspirations to make something great. That's why I say make something great. I've been saying that before Trump made it popular. Dang it, Trump! Jump into my freaking saying. But I believe that you really have to say, I'm going to try to make something really big and decent and good, not just like, oh, I'm only a small time filmmaker. I can't afford anything, therefore it has to be. If it's crap, it's crap. Look, I only spent 5 minutes on it, so don't blame me. It's like, no, we need to like put our time and effort in doing things right and trying to do things decent, or at least decently. Get across what we want to try to get across, right? So I forget what my point was. Be a force of positive. So I'm just trying to put out put out good vibes out in this world. That's a very California hippie thing to say. Although I'm the opposite of California hippie. Put out good stuff in the world. Let's get rid of the outrage. I believe, and unfortunately, I'll get a little political here, but since the election in 2016 in America, people have been poisoning themselves with just hatred. Political hatred, and to the extent too with Obama's presidency, both presidents, both sides of the aisle, they've been poisoning themselves to death with just political crap, and and I feel bad. I feel real bad about it. I had a friend that actually left California because of politics, and I feel that was kind of a dumb move, but he probably won't watch this, hopefully. But I just feel like politics is the worst thing to get worked up over, and it's because people are, I am rambling here, but it's like nutrition. If you feed yourself bad food, you're gonna get fat like me, right? But if you feed your mind bad information and bad thoughts, you're gonna get depressed. You're gonna get sad. You're gonna get upset. It's gonna tear you apart. And I think that's not good. I want to put out good stuff, good content, good ideas, good thinking. And then you'll feel better. I'm rambling on. I'm getting tired. It's getting warm in here too. Anyhow, that's my thoughts on that. Let's see. Thanks. I'll throw it up there for you. Cancel. So I didn't know this part of the filming can be so nice. Most people are just the opposite. Yeah, I know. That's what I feel bad about. I feel bad, and thank you for bringing me back on point here. I feel bad that a lot of filmmaking is evolving to very, very kind of posturing online. Like, I am so good, I am so smart, look at me. Although I am not. I have been kind of when I'm on film or Facebook film forums, and you see me kind of going in there and here and there. I'm not gonna mince words. If you're wrong, I'll tell you you're wrong, and if you got a bad idea, I'll tell you you have a bad idea. But there's so much like posturing and just silly high school stuff. And then on the other hand, there's people asking questions that, dude, Google search, man. Just put a minimum amount of effort to looking up something, That's how I feel. It's like I would like to go through a lot of those film forums, just post my videos. I think that's just bad. That's just bad, like bad etiquette. But it's like, man, please don't talk about depth of field that way because you don't know what you're talking about. Anyhow, so that's thought. Oh, I know. Look at that. Look right here. You're starting to sound old. Look at my beard, man. This thing's like half white. Look at his hair. Look at her. Well, I hardly have hair. I hardly have hair anymore. I look back at old videos of mine. I'm like, oh man, I had way more hair back then. Yeah, I'm getting old. I feel like I'm getting old. The thing about advice to young people is trying to tell you, hey, I've done all that, and I failed doing this, this, and this. And you know what? Your life would be better if you did this. Now, maybe we don't understand why we fail and we're giving bad advice, right? But that's what advice is. Advice is trying to give people lessons learned through hardship without having you go through that hardship. So advice is always good. It just may be maybe not in the right place sometimes. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's smart advice. And it's hard, and sometimes the sad thing is it takes wisdom to decipher the difference between good advice and bad advice. And young people don't have that wisdom. So young people that say, "Oh, all advice is bad," you're throwing away a lot of good with a lot of bad. Anyhow, long phrase. Letterboxd is a good, excellent way to connect the kind of personalities that you agree with and get along with the cinephile community. Cool. I have to check them out. I haven't really checked them out at all. LSG Media, as a movie podcast that is chock full of positivity and the community is world class. Good. Yeah, like I made that thing about the comic book movies, superheroes. Is comic books destroying cinema? It's like, no, they're not. Nothing is destroying cinema. The cinema has got so many different varieties, and there's so much to explore. I can like Spider-Man. I can like Spider-Man in the Multiverse, and like Spider-Man: Homecoming, or the new one, Far From Home. And then I can go see Midsummer and love that. I can go see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and kind of like parts of it. I can go see Star Is Born. I can go see a musical. I can go watch Cats and get freaked out. It's fun. It's the whole wide world. It's just a whole mix of stuff, and it's no better time to be a film enjoyer, a film fan. And it's no better time definitely to be a filmmaker, because look at me. I'm here by myself. I'm talking to people on the internet, guys from Texas and Ukraine, from Film Fanatic there. So anyhow, you were speaking about getting rid of the use of the Movie Magic Maniac says you were speaking about getting rid of use of the exposure triangle. That's the video I'm working on right now, and it'll be coming out hopefully in the next, give me a week and a half or so. I really don't like the exposure triangle. I think it's an awful idea, and you'll be surprised. I have 6 reasons why, and I'll. If you want a sneak peek, go ahead and watch my videos on exposure and dynamic range. They'll kind of give you a sense of what I'm talking about. All right, a couple more here. Adventure Media. Hi, John. Ricardo Triangle here. Interesting thoughts. I agree with the most with the good vibes. Which one of your works are you the most proud of? Thanks. I'm really proud of that short film we did, Out of Sync. I just met so many people on that one. It was our biggest production. It cost probably one of my more expensive productions. Made money on it because we had a sponsor. I love that production. Great people. I met some great people. Had so much fun. And it came out pretty much exactly the way I thought it would come out, which is good. I love it when a plan comes together. Kids you won't get that reference. Only the old folks. And I didn't even watch that show. All right, so yeah, that's probably one I'm most proud of. I have the studios, Paramount, which is really good. I'm really looking forward to doing this Fox video, because I have story of William Fox is so amazing. I can't wait for you guys to see it. So anyhow, and Movie Magic says it took me so long to understand that stuff. Your exposure video is hard to really grasp. Yes, it is. It's really hard, but I think if you grasp it, if you understand that, man, there's nothing left in filmmaking that's hard to understand. That's the hardest thing. That's the whole thing about exposure. If you get the basic basic underlying scientific understanding of that show, everything else just falls into place. Yep. All right. Well, okay. So I think what is now almost 1 o'clock. I have a lunch. Somebody coming in here for lunch here. So I do need to plug some stuff now, right? So you've been watching me wear this brand new T-shirt that I have from Teespring right here. It's Calling the Roll. This is a really cool T-shirt. I'm really proud of this. Speaking of being proud of something, really proud of this T-shirt, Calling the Roll. It's actually what you say when you actually call a roll. It's not lights, camera, action. It's pictures up. Go back to me here. Pictures up, roll camera, roll sound, and speed, and action. It's one variation of how you would call the roll. There's lots of variations of it, but it's always pictures up, camera, roll sound, then you hear speed and action. So you never forget that if you buy yourself from Teespring, an official Filmmaker IQ Calling the Roll t-shirt. So see, it's not only stylish, it's incredibly useful as well. So there you go. Check that out, Teespring. It's on the merch shelf below if you're watching on YouTube. And make sure to check out our Patreon, patreon.com/filmmakeriq. And let's see, you can go to the site Filmmaker IQ. I'm just going to respond to some of your comments here. Dude, I've been asking you to do a silk baseball jacket for years. I'll buy it, make it even. We'll make it just for you there, Trevor. And yeah, I don't know. DFO, the depth of field can really mess people up. It sure does. So that's why we have to be very accurate and very specific about what we say. So anyhow, thanks guys for hanging out. I mean, the deco fonts. This is actually not deco. This is more like an 1880s kind of like ice cream shop kind of font. I love the style. I don't know. I just dig the style. It's all sweaty because it's hot in here. But anyhow, deco style. I did it with 24 frame per second t-shirt is also still available. Check it out. Oh yeah, the stickers. You can buy stickers too. They're awesome. They're cool. Stick them all over. Stick them on your gamer friend's computer. Put them on your on PS4 with the 30 frames per second, folks. You peasant console player peasants. Anyhow, thanks guys for hanging out here. I'm sorry Joe had to take off, but it's just left with me and you here, and we're just chatting. But thanks for hanging out with us. I will be back with the Filmmaker IQ bits video. Again, I've got 2 other bits written up. I've got the Fox video, half of it written, so the other half I need to finish writing. And yeah, more stuff. It's summertime. I can't wait for it to cool down a little bit. So anyhow, with that said, I'll put the music up, and I'll see you guys. I'm tired, man. A lot to talk about. I'll see you guys later. Filmmaker IQ. Go out there. You know what to do. Make something great. We'll see you later, guys. Take care.